What do we have here, guys? Who knows what we have? We have public pipes built with plastic all along this Lamaha Park, and of course it's leaking. On the other side, Lamaha Street expansion continues. Right, that's Lamaha Street. Where they're now filling in, they're backfilling this retaining wall. So the retaining walls were built, and now they're backfilling those retaining walls with sand, I guess, before they build the road. But that's it, guys. This was happening here in Guyana. The problem is we're building infrastructure, but we're not building quality infrastructure. This is a sand pipe. I suppose it was built to irrigate these plants that are growing along the side of this path, but they built them with plastic. And even if people weren't maliciously breaking them, guess what? They would break because they're plastic. Out here in the sun, plastic deteriorates. Here in the tropics, in heat and UV light. That is Washington Road at about 7:30 on Friday morning. And I'm starting coming out of this bank. That's Washington Road. South. And this here is the Yamaha bank. And this is Georgetown's finest, that's the police. They've taken off Policia, it seems, from the police vehicles. At least that one doesn't have the standard police on it. Yeah, this is Lamaha Street and the Lamaha embankment at Washington Road. This, on the other side, is Irving Street. That's Irving Street coming out of Georgetown, heading north. Right, heading north. That building is at the corner of Thomas Land and San Bab Street and Washington Road. Avenue with all those schools. So this is where we are on the Lamaha Street Embankment Park and observing what's happening with the new infrastructure. So last time we went out to Kingston Seawall, where they built that new esplanade, all the water taps have been turned off because they keep building them out of plastic. Here's the Policia. Guyana Police Force, they seem to have removed Policia. Right, they seem to have removed Policia from the vehicles, so the politicians have spoken. I guess they've reversed course on that. The Vice President had instructed that all police vehicles be labeled with the word Policia. And on this Friday morning, after the backlash from Venezuela, Venezuela is planning an invasion of Guyana. The Vice President has reversed himself on that, and now all of the vehicles with the word Policia have now been cleaned. The word has been erased, removed, and the name Guyana Police Force has been restored to the vehicles. So we're no longer the Venezuelan Policia, we're no longer catering to Venezuelans. We're simply back to being normal. Now, this is drama, right? I've been reading V.S. Naipaul recently. He wrote a bunch of books on life in the Caribbean. One of his books is called The Mimic Men, in which he talks about how West Indian politicians, colonial politicians, are basically mimicking the developed world. And so the title of the book is called The Mimic Men. And in fact, what he argues is that in the Caribbean and in colonial in the colonial world, the politician sees his greatest ambition as replacing, just deposing and replacing what is there. So it's a constant creation of drama, right? So you're creating drama all the time so that you can depose the guy in charge and replace him with yourself. But it's a constant cycle. As soon as you gain power, somebody else is trying to unseat you, right? To depose you and to replace you. So it's a constant cycle of deposing and replacing. That is politics. Politics is drama. So the latest drama in Guyana is that the PPPC tried to get a head start on the next elections by naming the Policia in order to cater to Venezuelan migrants who've been flowing into Guyana in thousands for the last 3 or 4 years and are now a significant portion of the migrant population in Guyana. Venezuelans are. We welcome Venezuelans because, like I said, back in the 1980s when Guyana was in economic crisis, a lot of Guyanese left this country, migrated, many of them to Venezuela, a lot of them to North America and Europe and so on. But now the children of the Venezuelan migrants are returning. That is, people who left 30 or 40 or 50 years ago. 1980s was 40 years ago. Their children and grandchildren are now coming back to Guyana. And the PPP, that is the ruling party, current government, created a strategy to win the votes of the children of the migrants from Venezuela. Basically, they decided to give them Guyanese citizenship, expedited citizenship, give them national ID cards and so on, so that they could vote in the next election and so they could win. But this opened the door for Venezuela to create their own migration, take advantage of their own plans to annex, to invade Guyana. That is, Venezuela has claimed Essequibo, which is 2/3 of Guyana, and since a lot of the oil that has been found offshore is in Guyanese water because Essequibo belongs to Guyana. If Essequibo belonged to Venezuela, that would be Venezuelan oil. So the Venezuelans have decided that they are going to attack Guyanese ownership of Essequibo and threaten the oil economy, basically. And that is why they have now reversed the politicians, the vice chancellor, the vice president, right? The leader of the PPPC, General Secretary, has reversed himself because it was his idea, his strategy, to name the police force Policia, so that he can use Venezuelan migrants to win the next election. Now, of course, that is not possible, so he's reversed himself, because what it did is open the door for Venezuela to use the Russian playbook. I explained that in the previous video. You should go take a look at that video if you want to understand Guyanese politics. But the latest development is that infrastructure is being built with substandard materials. That is, they're building plastic water pipes, public water facilities with plastic, and they're reversing themselves on naming the police force the Policia. Now the police force has been restored to its original title, Guyana Police Force. That's what's up, guys. That's what's happening here in this neck of the woods in Georgetown, Guyana. Here we are on Lamaha Street, next to the Lamaha Park. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in Georgetown, Guyana.
Up top life?
Yeah, yeah.
I like this texture vibe.
Yeah. Peace out. That's it, guys. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in Georgetown, Guyana. Later.